Okay, so what I wanted to do is to walk you through, make a little video on how to install Greenfoot onto your onto your machine. This link here at the Google Classroom, this what gives you the screenshots and the steps in terms of how to actually do that. So it's a cute little, well, I made it cute. It has all of the where to click, what to do. The text is on the right, and the screenshots are on the left, and how to actually get it to install and whatnot. So I'm also going to provide you with a little video that will that you can follow and see if that makes sense. So if you get lost, that way you've actually got it. So you do need to make sure that you install this onto a non-Chromebook computer. That's the catch. So you can't install any software on a Chromebook. So it needs to be a laptop, a desktop, doesn't matter, anything that's non-Chromebook. The first thing you got to do is you got to go to the Greenfoot website. That is greenfoot.org. Here it is. In fact, that's not exactly what you're going to see. You're going to see this. Well, maybe. There we go. This. So when you go to greenfoot.org, it takes you to the door, and we want to enter that site. So you're going to click on this red button, and that will take you to where we just were. And this is the main Greenfoot website, and they've got a whole bunch of stuff that's pretty cool. Various people that have posted some things, things that are going on, a little bit about just the organization and who these guys are. The documentation is helpful. Different scenarios, and a really powerful, or not powerful, but a really good discussion board. If you're looking to try to do something, that's a nice place to go. What do you need to do? You need to go to the downloads. You're going to click on download, and that brings you here. You have one of three choices basically to use. You're hopefully running either a Windows machine or a Mac, or you're running Linux. These other two options are very nice if you wanted to have something on a jump drive. I would discourage you from doing that. So the next thing, this is on a Windows machine. You're going to click on this and download it. I've already downloaded it, so I won't walk you through that process, but it's just a click and it goes right to your downloads. So once it's that has been downloaded, the next thing is to install it onto your machine, and here it is right here. So this guy here is the installer. I'm going to double click on that, and I'm ready to go. I'd also recommend that you install this for all users. If at home you probably don't have separate logins for your siblings and your parents. If you did, this would allow you could be on when mom is logged in. You could still run Greenfoot and that kind of stuff. So that would be my recommendation. It could be just for you. If it's your own personal machine, it doesn't make any difference. I'd also recommend that you have all three of these boxes checked. The default to program files makes the most sense. You could change it if you have a different partition or a different thing that you wanted to do, but program files makes the most sense. Click next. And now you're ready to do the install. And this will, excuse me, take a moment. There is a message from Windows that says, hey, somebody wants to install. And it will take not very long at all for those files to get loaded onto your system. All right, there are a bunch of images and web pages that have to be loaded for the help, that kind of stuff. And as soon as that green bar goes all the way across, we are good to go. So that's going to be finish. That's all you got to do. I will also want to take a moment and just, now that it's installed, you probably want to run it. So let's just have a real simple project that we do. This is optional. We'll be covering this in class, but you might want to follow along and see if you can get something to work. That would be cool. So you are then going to run Greenfoot. I start typing in Greenfoot. There it is. That's what I want to do. One other thing. I would recommend too that when you launch this, and we're going to save these files to one folder, and I would recommend that you do that in the on the desktop. So here's my desktop. I'm going to create a new folder. Right click, choose folder. I'll call it Greenfoot. It's now created. There's nothing in it. It's empty. And now this is what happens when I load this. Now there's nothing here. There's nothing that I've done yet. So it doesn't know really what I want to do or anything. This is not very helpful at all. If you go to scenario, you've got some options. You could either go out and grab one that is there and all that kind of stuff. Stride is a way that Greenfoot has tried to create a block-based language. If you were in CSP last year, App Inventor, very polished. It works and makes a lot of sense and is fairly intuitive, I think. What they call theirs Stride for some reason. I don't know the reason for that. It's not that user friendly. So it is block based, but not that helpful. I think you're actually better off starting a new Java scenario. So this is that's this guy. I'm now gonna where do I want to navigate? Well, I did this previously, so it knows that. Wait a second, I'll go to the desktop and put it in that Greenfoot folder. Well, I just made it, so you will probably need to choose go to your desktop and navigate specifically to that Greenfoot folder, and then we go. I give it a name, tester one. Make it a capital letter to start with. If it's lowercase, it still will work, but good programming etiquette there to start with a capital letter. So my project is called tester one. You could call it really anything you want. There it is, and it is going to take a moment to set up that world, and it might even, there we go, populate that world. So it went through and it actually compiled code for us automatically. What happened? It created these two worlds, or two classes, world and actor. That comes with the program. It then created a my world, which identifies how big the screen should be. We can modify that, and we will. And there's no actors in this world. So this is a little like, I like the biblical reference of, when God created heaven and the earth, that's what just happened. All right. So the Big Bang happened, boom, the universe was created, and Earth has evolved. There's nothing there yet. All right. So we're going to populate our world with actors. So the first thing that we're going to do is, if you right click on this actor guy and choose a new subclass, I'll call this rocket because I know that's what I want to make. And under transport, there is a rocket at the bottom. Oh, how cute. So now there's a rocket. It is not in the world at this point. So I do want to add it to the world, and that we can do this in code. For right now, we won't. You have to right click on it, create a new rocket, the first option, new rocket. Now I've made a new rocket somewhere in here, and I want to stick it someplace in my world. I don't know what happens if you stick it on the tools, it goes away. So don't do that. Stick it someplace in the world, and it's going to appear. There is no code here. So if I click on act, nothing happens. If I click on run, nothing happens, because there is nothing, we haven't told Rocket how it should act when that act method gets called. Now that we've created it, if we double click on Rocket now, here is Java code. All right. We're going to go through all of these things, and it will make perfect sense down the line what all this stuff actually means. So don't worry if it's like, I have no idea. But it's this act that's what's happening. When these buttons are clicked, when act is called, when this button is clicked, it finds all the actors in a world and it calls their act method one time. That's act. Run calls act again and again and again, over and over and over for all the actors that may exist in the world. We have an open curly brace and a closed curly brace, meaning we have no code whatsoever. So when it acts, it does nothing. This would be great if I had a rock or maybe a plant that didn't do anything, and I just wanted it to sit there. That would be a fine thing for those kinds of actors. But a rocket should actually move. So let's change this. We're going to replace, this is just a comment, we're going to replace that with this dot move. We just told the program that, hey, I want you to move, but how far? How much should I move? And it's going to move in the current direction that it's pointing, which is to the right. So let's say 5. We're going to move 5. 5 what? 5 pixels is what that's going to be. 5 squares, not really pixels. Yes, and no to that comment, that statement. So move 5 cells to the right. We're not turning, we're not bouncing off the other edge. We're not doing a test to see if I'm on the edge. We're not doing any of that. And notice that what happened over here to my world, it kind of got very foggy. And that means this has not compiled yet. And when it compiles, it will be much, much happier. So this is saying basically a way of visually of saying something's off. I need to, this needs to compile. When I click on the compile button, what I'm doing there is I'm telling Java to make sure that all this stuff is right and get ready to run it. So I click on the compile button. That looks great. When I come back over here, my rocket goes away because I just right clicked on it. So it went through all the code and it set everything up again. That right click thing disappeared. So I'm going to make another new rocket. This will get tedious if you keep doing it, but it'll work for just a cute little demonstration. Now when I click on act, what is it going to do? It's going to move that rocket 5 cells in the direction that it's currently heading, which is to the right. So it should move 5 pixels to the right, and it did. If I click run, it will do that again and again and again. How fast? That is a function of this slider. So if I want it to go really slowly, it's going to run, and then it's going to keep on running. If I slid it all the way over to the other side, it would look like it went very, very quickly. I can just pull them back, move the slider all the way over to the right, and now it's going to fly, bing, and he's there in a heartbeat. So we're not going to bounce at this point. Maybe we'll do that perhaps on Tuesday, but there you go. You just made a little scenario using Java, one line, and you got something kind of cool to work. So that's pretty cool. Hopefully that makes sense. If you have any issues or questions or concerns, let me know, and I'll see you on Tuesday. All right, take care.